Have you ever laid in bed and you was in this complete state where you couldn't move or
Mm.
couldn't or nothing like that, but you're like that, and
That sleep
you feel like you're
paralysis.
going deeper and deeper into something, not sleep, but it's something else.
Yeah, exactly.
And every
Mm.
time I go into that, then I say, "Oh hell, I'm scared as hell." You get all scared and stuff. So you try to say, "Help, help." You can't move, you can't scream, but you say, "Help, help." You finally get out of it, because you just can't move. It's a very funny feeling. But one time I was gonna try it. One time that feeling was coming through me. I said, "Oh, here we go. This time I'm gonna see if I'm gonna see, let it happen, see where I go to, or see what happens. So it was really getting really scary, man. It's going like that. I said, I'm not even asleep. So this is really strange. And somebody knocked on the door. I said, oh, because I wanted to find out.
Can you remember some things really far back when you
Yeah,
were
I
a
can remember when the
baby?
nurse put the dice. I remember when.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Listen, what he just said a while ago is so crazy. So I've had this experience before, not like when I was sleeping, not sleeping, okay? There's this one time, I don't even know if you care to hear this. You could just skip forward, maybe like 2 minutes. That's how long it's going to take for me to tell you the story. So there's this time, right, when I was a kid and I was like running on the street, like just running. I remember I was running and like all of a sudden I felt like I escaped my body. I felt like my spirit came out of my body, and I was like incredibly aware and conscious of my own existence, and it was terrifying, terrifying. Like all of a sudden I knew I was me, like I was me, and I was running and I was at this place. Like it was like a different kind of consciousness. And I did the same thing he's describing here. There are many times that I would just sit and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to let myself go to that place where I become scared and see what comes next. And like, I did it once and I got past the fear, but that's happened to me before where I had just this extremely overwhelming consciousness, like a raw sensitivity to the idea of me being me. And that is trippy. If you've ever had that happen to you, please tell me, because I've said it to people before and they've been like, no, nothing like this. This is the first time. Well, maybe the second time, because I think I found it on Quora. This is the second time I've ever heard any other person say this. That's sick. I was not expecting to hear this here. Who is Jimi Hendrix? Oh my God.